Hello, welcome. This is a short tutorial about D3.JS. It's a JavaScript library meant to do graphing and charting. So what we'll do, we'll open up a website later on and we'll type in some code and show you how everything works. Right now what I have just a file. This is the result of D3.JS and it has an HTML file mixed with JavaScript, and all we have to do is just go to view page source. Then we have the view page source page. We copy that document code and we go to Google and we can just type in block builder is the name of the website. Oh, I got to blow something dry bar. That's not right. So let's do block builder. It's blockbuilder.org. Okay, then we just go to start coding. And so this is a programming environment, which is online. And as you can see here, it has edit the code below to change me. And this is kind of structured fairly simply. You have between the script tags, we have the JavaScript. Then between the body tags, we have HTML. So if we type in how are you, you can see at the top we have how are you that appears on the screen, and therefore our HTML writings were put on the screen. That's exactly how we want things to work. So we just put in our saved D3.JS code that we have from earlier, and we just go over a little primer here, just a little warning or a little precursor. You do want to have some good knowledge of HTML before you start, and JavaScript, if you know that, it will help because D3.JS isn't exactly JavaScript, but it's a little variant of it, so it will help if you know a little bit. And so one of the big things we want to pay attention to here is actually the tags that we have. Tags are things where you have open brackets and closed brackets. So that's very important to pay attention to. If you don't know what they are, you should get familiar with them and have some prior experience. But just show you an example of what they do. Between when we have open tag title, then random circles, closed tag title, that's essentially saying that title equals to random circles. I put double quotes. It shouldn't be double quotes at the beginning, but you can see the purpose of doing this. It's to set a value for each different tag. And I can show you another example of how D3.JS works, because D3.JS, what it does is it finds these tags and appends information onto those tags. So that's the power of D3.JS. There are actually two powers that we'll go over. This is one of the two powers, or the two really advantages that D3.JS has. So you can just say append circle, and you can say attribute, like cx something equals cx something, and that's the same as a line above where it says open bracket circle cx equals 82. This is what it's doing when you have appended in D3.JS. So this might not make a lot of sense. It might seem redundant, and there's no advantage to doing it. But as we work through, you will see where the advantage comes from. Okay, another aspect of just D3.JS, it's not really a built-in aspect, but it's something to know, is CSS code, which is cascading style sheets. So what this allows us to do is allows maintenance of the code a lot easier to perform, because we don't have to keep writing multiple lines of code. All we have to do is assign a class and assign some values, and we can just reference that class over and over again. So we only have to change things in one place instead of multiple places. So here's a good example where it has a different topic, but here's a different example, a good example of how you start D3.JS code. Within the body, you go to the script, and so you have D3 select body. What that does is it finds the body, then it tags or appends a SVG, then you have attributes. So the attribute is width equals to 1,000, height is equal to 800. So this is essentially the same thing as that line 76 that we have. So 67, 76 through 79 are the same thing. That's how D3.JS works. It's like a seek and append operation. You can type the code anywhere and it'll find that tag and add your code to it. So as we go down, you can see how we have example. We have a circle that's appended to the SVG. In SVG, if you don't know, it's just a canvas, and it allows you to basically paint whatever you want to. And we have different properties here and different attributes like the color. So if you change the color and you scroll back up, you can see where the color has changed to a kind of, I don't know, it's like a green bluish thing, aquamarine color. And if you change again and you scroll up, you can see it changes to pink. So that's how it works. So we can change it from the lines 87 to 92, change different attributes. The circle will go to the SVG tag and it'll pin information on there. And we can do the same thing with another circle, but this time the circle append. But what we do here, we call the class that we defined earlier, so we don't have to have the colors defined again. We have some more code, but I won't get into it because it changes based off the version of D3.JS you're using. So it's a little whimsical. But anyway, what we have right here on line 123, we have a file called in. And what it does is it calls that file, then it names it as D. Then when it opens the file, it calls it data 0. So when you want to open a file, you call it data 0. If it fails, then it just shows an error. Okay, here we have append G. A G is just a group. It really doesn't do anything. And class is just another way to section off the code. And so what we begin by doing is having data. Then we open the data 0, which is what the file is called. And we have enter. Enter is just like customary thing that you want to type in. You can see that we don't really have anything displayed on the screen so far. Even though we have circle and we have our class, which basically says every single circle will have a class of green slime, and you'll have ridership, which is going to be divided by 3,000, so you don't have too large of bubbles. You want to scale it down, and you're going to read in X and Y columns from a file, right? So where is this file? We actually have this file, so we'll enter the file, and we'll show you how everything changes. So we choose a file. Let's just scroll down, and we go to stations, but nothing's changed. But you can see the CSV file how it has different columns. Everything's delineated. You have ID, station name, X, Y, ridership, etc. So, but if we change the file name, you'll see now that we're reading in each of those lines. Each row now gets iterated through. And that's the second big advantage of D3.JS. You don't have to write for loops. It's built in. It knows it's reading data. That's what it's built for. So you just type it once. No for loops. And this will automatically circle through or iterate through and process all your information. All you have to do is just call the different attributes like D.X, D.Y. And that's just calling the different columns. And you can just post it. So as you can see here, here's a full example. And that is D3.JS. I hope you liked it. Comments below if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye. Hello.